All right, quick update on the markets. I want to focus on FTSE because it's been an interesting set of events since the last video I did. So I think I mentioned the movement upwards in the last video, right? So this movement upwards, and I said, okay, so we're having push up, push down, push up, and I was interested in this push down coming in. Let's go to the lower time frame. I was particularly interested in prices coming down to the 7400 level because I said, okay, on this time frame you can see it a lot clearer, right? We've had this push up, and we know this push up happened, or ended rather, here because of the pullback. Scroll forward a bit. We had this push up, and at the time of the recording, the last recording I did, I think we were around about somewhere here, and I said, okay, I'm anticipating a pullback from this. Actually, one moment, am I getting my times right? Okay, I don't think we were there. I think we were, let me go forward a bit. Okay, so here we are. I got my weeks incorrect. I was like, we're not on the 20th. We commencing the 20th. We're there. Or we were there. At the time of the recording, the last recording I did, we were around about, I want to say here-ish. And I said, okay, this movement upwards, I'm pretty confident it's ended here. And I'm anticipating a push down, a pullback of this move upwards, right? That ended here. And I said, okay, most likely the area where prices will come down to before the third leg, considering this being the second leg, is here, at least the 7400 level. And I actually said it could come up to around about here. I think I said ultimately down here at the very lowest, but conservatively here. And I mentioned this would confirm this push up second leg has ended because of the pullback, and we'll be going for a third leg upwards. All right, here we are. Prices did indeed come down here, and actually came down twice, or either 2 or 3 times. It came down here, also here, and then here, which was a very telltale sign that buyers are indeed here, because those who bought either here or here, in this case me, had their stops just underneath, right? Considering this is going to go up, had their stops just underneath. I had mine round about there, and I got snagged because of this, but no worries, I was able to re-enter. What I wasn't anticipating with the move down, with this move down, was how it came down. Because of all of this sideways movement, I was anticipating a deep and quick move downwards. So something similar to this, but on the downside. What instead happened was prices just sort of like break away from this range. It just sort of like collapsed, went back up, came back down, and it was almost as though the range was expanding, right? Instead of from here to here, it looked as though it was expanding from here all the way down to here, which would have been fascinating if that were the case. So there were three opportunities to jump in on this. This one, in hindsight, of course, was the best. Well, this was also good as well as this. So anywhere between here, when prices came back in, was a good point to jump in on this buy. Initially, I was interested in the sell, but with the way that this came down, I wasn't happy jumping in on it, because it came down to weak. Came down in a very weak manner. It just sort of like dropped. And because of that, somewhere between here and this secondary move, so between this first move and this secondary move, I jumped in on the buy, thinking, okay, price is going to come back deeper and then it's going to drop. But instead, what happened? We had this push down and we had sort of like this messiness here, and then this snag, and then the buyers jumped in. So prices did indeed drop down to the 7,400 level. If not there, certainly there. In other words, if I had, well, actually, there's no point going about if I had, I wouldn't have taken this sell. Not at all. Because of how weak it was. Instead, what I did take was the buy. Unfortunately, I took the buy too early and didn't exit or put my stops to break even somewhere around about there when this came down. So I jumped in on this buy, this earlier buy, this one, somewhere around about there, took it upwards, and then I saw this come down, but I thought, let me hold on because I have my stop down to here. Well, actually, it was just below the 7,400 level. And then I saw this started to come up, but in a weak manner. I should have exited, really, down there. When prices started to come down, if I had been paying attention to it, I would have put my stops to break even, and most likely it would have been snagged out. But I wouldn't have lost money. In this case, between here and here, I really wasn't paying attention until prices came upwards. And I'll tell you where I got in, roughly where I got in again. I got in round about, not there, round about here. I jumped in on the buy. But this was after I'd been snagged out. So I went away from the markets, came back, and prices were up here. And then analyzing things, I realized, okay, this snag was the last bit of sellers before the big buyers. And I believe the buyers now are here to stay, which is why I was comfortable getting back in on this round about there, even though this snag hurt me just a bit. If I had been paying attention, I would have been out at break even and wouldn't have had this loss. But the initial attempt wasn't bad. This attempt, or round about there where I got in, wasn't a bad attempt. I just didn't manage this as well as I could have. This entry was a good entry. I'm comfortable with the entry because I waited. Well, didn't wait actually. I analyzed. Prices were around about here, going upwards. When I analyzed it again, and having seen this snag, I thought, okay, the buyers are now here and they're on the way. So now it's clear to see that we've had this push up, this secondary push up, and this third push upwards has already started to come in with some steam. And I believe they're going to beat this SNR and definitely go past, well, beat this SNR and most likely go past this guy here, which means this third leg that's going upwards is going to be stronger than this secondary leg. And if that is the case, we're most likely headed upwards to the 700 level. So now it's just a case of riding this out and seeing how prices perform. What I am expecting is prices to break this level with steam, use it as an SNR on the way down, and then go up some more. And all of this will be, I believe, one leg. If that is the case, then it will mean this third leg up, I think we're going to reach this level with this third leg that's going up. And if that is the case, when we have a pullback, we'll definitely have a fourth leg. Considering this third leg will be stronger than this secondary leg, which we're already seeing, right? We're seeing the signs of it now because prices already are coming up with strength. And if we go down to the hourly, we could see the strength of them. Sellers came down and buyers just completely engulfed them. So I am comfortable saying yes, this third leg up, even though it's still early, is going to be stronger than this secondary leg up. Another reason why I say that is because all of this move upwards is still within a range. So from the higher time frame. So let me go to the weekly. I'll show you, illustrate what I mean. We're still within there, right? And we're in the middle of it. And I think these are buyers going up to reach this level before sellers out potentially make another attempt downwards. But we can cross that when we approach it. First things first is to see where prices end up. I think endpoint will be here, potentially higher being, well, the next level will be up here. And I think that's possible because other markets have reached and gone past that level. They've just blown past it. That's Germany. Here's Wall Street. Oh, look, up here. It's where Wall Street's at, which means Germany is, okay, Germany is headed there. I can anticipate FTSE will be headed there as well. So yes, at least here, if not a bit more. Up here, we'll see. The 7-9 potentially, but first things first, let's get to this level and then we can reassess, see where things are, how things play out. So a bit of a snag earlier, but the read was right. The entry was fine. The initial entry of the buy. It was smart not to jump in on this sell because of the way it came down. The entry into the buy was fine. The management was poor. The re-entry was fine. That's how I would rate all of this. So yes, let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks. In terms of timing, I think these buyers, so this third leg up, I think that's going to take the span of December, probably all of December. December is an interesting month because of it's an interesting month because of the break, the holiday break, Christmas. That's the word I was looking for. I was thinking Easter. No, not Easter. Christmas. Because of the Christmas break, most people are likely to take, if not 1 week off, maybe 2 weeks off in December. So there wouldn't be enough time for these buyers to make their move upwards, reach here, and then make their move downwards, all in December. So if I were to plot how this is likely to play out, I think it's going to be strength all the way up to here, but during December. So something more akin to this, I reckon. On the lower time frame, will be something akin to this. You'll be able to see the slight push down with pushes upwards. On this time frame, this daily time frame, it's going to look very strong indeed. So something more like, let me see if I can draw this. Maybe something like that. I don't think it's going to reach all the way up here now, the last day in November. So I think something like this in November, and then we'll have all of this next move upwards in December. The point is, all of this move upwards now is going to be considered as one leg, the third leg. Even if even though we'll have small pullbacks, or pauses, I should say, not really pullbacks, but pauses, all of it will be one move upwards, and it's going to be throughout December. Come next year, January, we'll have to reassess. I think we're likely to see a push down. Okay, let me just give a very quick update on, or not update, but what I'm seeing of the sellers so far. We've had this big push down. I'm anticipating one more push down. This is looking at this time frame. The high time frame, of course, we know we're in a range and we're on our way upwards. On this time frame, these sellers, because of their strength, when these buyers reach up here, I do anticipate them coming in one more time and attempting to come down. And what I mentioned earlier with the 7,400 level on the 4 hourly, where prices, where I said sellers are going to come down and reach this level on the lower time frame, I think we're going to see something similar to this time frame, on this time frame rather, as in when the sellers come down, if they don't use this SNR, they're going to be wanting to come down all the way to this level. I doubt they will reach this level, but potentially they could spike down, similar to what happened here. They could spike down and reach this level before another leg upwards. So this sell will be these sellers pushing down one more time, and if you look at it from a buyer's point of view, let me clear all of this up. If you look at it from a buyer's point of view, it will be a signal that this buy is over, and we know it's over because of the pullback. When the pullback happens, it will be a confirmation that this third leg is over and we're going up for a fourth leg. I think we're going to see all of that happen before potentially these sellers push prices down to this level again, depending on how strong the fourth leg is. If it's stronger than the third, then we know that prices are going upwards to reach the 7,900 level, the next level. But all of that will come next year. First things first, see where these buyers head to, which I believe will be up here. All right, let me leave this there for now. Definitely gonna have close attention on FTSE for all of December, and I think that will be it for the year. There'll be nothing else that's interesting. Other markets have reached their target area, and the pullback will happen on them before it happens on FTSE. But yes, FTSE is the one that interests me for the time being. All right, I'll leave it there for now. I'll have more I'll have more over the weekend. All right, bye for now.